What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diamond Owl Studios. I'm your host, Paper Chase.
And it's the one and only Diamond Dawn wannabe. You're probably wondering, like, where are they?
Yeah.
Are they in the jungle?
Did we teleport to a different space-time continuum?
No, we're just in our study. It's, it smells of rich mahogany, and we're surrounded by many leather-bound books.
Exactly. Yep. And we this is a new environment. I think we're gonna actually start shooting in here a little bit more, and we really, really like it. It kind of feels like we just got transported into a scene from Jumanji.
Exactly.
And it's got a nice vibe.
Couple of 1-2 monkeys over here.
Exactly. Well, do you want to tell them what we're listening to today, or do you want me to?
I mean, I guess we're doing Panic at the Disco, right?
Yeah. And you said you kind of might have heard them.
I mean, this song is so iconic. It's like I have heard it. I don't know how anyone on the planet could not have heard it, but we were discussing, like, do you know what the song's about? I know there's the line, like, haven't you ever heard of Closing the Goddamn Door?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, so what exactly are they talking about? I don't know. Did he walk in on somebody, smashing?
So I have seen this video a few times, and obviously I know this song very well because this is like what I grew up listening to, but it does paint a pretty good picture in the video. So I think you'll get the idea and the synopsis. But guys, this is another part of one of our, what do we even call this that we've been doing, the emo.
We're going deep into our emotions and getting in touch with our softer, more emotional side.
This is part of our emo train, time. Because
I have like a little bit of knowledge about like indie bands and emo music. It's not that I don't like it. I just didn't find it I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, man, I really didn't start listening to any music like this until like my late 20s, probably like 27, 28, 30, before I even began to venture into this world. So I have a very like small sliver of knowledge of these type of bands and this type of music. So it's fun to dive in because this is something that's a little bit more in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, it's like a lot of this music, as I'm listening to, is really good. I enjoy it. It's just not something that I've ever dove into, and it's like, how do you even like start? Just like search emo, like, I guess.
That's
on Spotify.
That's why we're doing this, because if you've been on our channel, we kind of are showing him the not necessarily the grassroots, but like the basics of some of the biggest names out there. Like, we started with My Chemical Romance, we did some Fall Out Boy.
He's starting with the finger, right, before he sticks the whole fist in there.
Exactly.
We're working our way up.
And what better than Panic at the Disco? These guys are freaking huge, man. They are humongous. They just headlined the When We Were Young tour, and they've had like some a lot of lore and history behind their band of like getting like the original members. Some of them aren't there anymore.
Okay.
But their lead singer, Brendan Urie, he's still there. Fantastic voice. I think he makes this song what it is. So let's get into it, man.
All right, let me bring it up. New setup. So let's see if we can get through this without any
Make sure you
technical difficulties.
Put the mouse over there and then click. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, what do you know? Good thing I got a coach.
Imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, an exchanging of words.
I love you too.
What a beautiful wedding, says a bridesmaid to a waiter. Yes, but what a shame, the poor groom's bride is a whore. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne. Oh, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne,
Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear what the song's about. Now that you like listen to it without, just
pretty
like,
straightforward. The video is fucking dope. Like, I kind of was getting lost in the whole imagery. Super fun. At first, I thought it was like a Clockwork Orange type of vibe, but it's More of like a carnival type of vibe.
Yeah, they've always kind of had this circus, this circus kind of
traveling
imagery.
carny.
And, like I think even at their most recent show, because they stopped playing like touring for a while, and at their most recent show, the clips I saw was like a whole circus know, thing going on. So definitely kind of the vibe they go for.
Nice.
I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of force and rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of force and rationality. I chime in. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality. I chime in. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality.
Fire, like the fire breather at the end there.
I love kind of the message behind the song, because you might think of it as, oh, it's just, a cheating song. The bride is cheating on the groom, boo-hoo, whatever. But like the whole song, like, it's best to face these things with a sense of hope and rationality,
Poison and rationality. Yeah.
And he's like, if we look at it this way, technically our marriage is saved, like, because it's like, boom, you found out right before you made this life-altering decision with a freaking girl who's just a promiscuous little whatever.
Gutter dweller, and we love them. We love those little gutter rats, but you know what I mean?
But not for our homies.
Yeah, not for our homies or for ourselves, as the saying goes. Don't make a hoe into a housewife, is what they say.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any new, like a new perspective on this song after watching
I
the
just
video?
know kind of the chorus. You know what I mean? Like I've heard, because it's so catchy, and I mean a big part of the song is the chorus. So it's just so damn catchy that I don't know how you could not like have that in your memory banks, but I don't know that I've really sat down and listened to the song like that, Even in like my friend group, I mean, I know it sounds probably kind of stupid and ignorant that, I didn't have any friends that listened to music like this, but I really didn't. It was mainly like hip hop. I used to be a raver way back in the day, so a lot of the kids would listen to rave music, like EDM, old school EDM. But I had a lot of friends that were into like harder rock that they hated music like this.
Yeah.
Because they were into
this is too soft.
Yeah. They were into like Pantera. What's the other big band? I'm drawing a blank right now. Starts with an S. I'll think of it in a minute.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I didn't have any friends who listened to this growing up either.
Okay.
Like every friend I knew, I had like one neighbor when I was really, really young, and we kind of got into this together, but we stopped being friends when I was, young as well. So, but yeah, all my friends listened to hip hop and everything. So like this is like, I would burn CDs and make sure there was like a couple of rap songs on there. So like,
just so you want to get so you could skip.
So if I was around the girls, and they're like, "What you listening to?" I'd be like, "Oh, some Biggie or Tupac or whatever, Bone Thugs and Harmony."
Around the girls,
yeah. I mean,
I would have thought it would have been the opposite way, that you would put on this music.
I went to a lot of
ladies.
schools where I was definitely like the minority, and and rap was like the only cool thing. Like if you listen to something like this, people are like,
might beat your ass.
What's wrong with you, dude? Like, yeah. So I mean, and even to nowadays, bro, like I have such a limited, like I have one friend who is obsessed with this type of music too, and like we go to all the festivals together, and like I don't know, and like I don't have any other friends who like love this music and appreciate it. So Yeah, it's definitely it's crazy to see it how big it is nowadays, and like
Mhm.
everybody who used to just listen to it kind of under the radar, they've all come out.
They've
and
come
been
out
like,
now. They came out of the closet.
yeah, they're like, you
There's
know
like,
what?
we need to normalize liking emo music. It's no longer something that you should be ashamed of.
And honestly, Panic at the Disco, I wouldn't once again classify them as emo.
Okay.
It's just a way to kind of like
Like more like
generalize
pop.
everything from this era of music.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of their music isn't even like sad, like at all.
You know, it's interesting because, like, you know, I've referenced EDM, and like when I first started listening to it, it all sounded the same to me. Like, I couldn't distinguish the difference between like trance and house and, you know, drum and bass just because it was like faster. So it was like kind of easy. But, you know, I think a lot of music's like that. I use emo as like a rough, you know, umbrella just because I'm currently somewhat ignorant about the whole genre. But I'm sure as we dive into it more, I'll be like, oh, now I can start seeing the distinctions or start hearing the differences and like, you know, the different genres. Like, what are all the genres? Like, there's like scene, emo.
There's scene, emo. I mean, that's the thing too, is like a lot of people hear like metal and like anything with screams. They're like, oh, screamo. But like screamo is like scene music. It's like the stuff with like I could show you some stuff like I Set My Friends on Fire and stuff like that, where it's like
that sounds like a live leak.
It's clearly
that
like,
sounds like a live leak video that'll get us canceled.
Well, it's like clearly there's like screaming in it, but you can tell like there's nothing tough about these guys at all. You know, like there's all kinds of different genres, and honestly, like people would probably watch this and be like, "No, Panic at the Disco's emo," and it's like if you grew up listening to this when they were at their peak. Nobody was like, this is emo music.
Gotcha.
Like My Chemical Romance, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Like they kind of embody that whole like the way that they dress, the way they act. But this, I mean, I wouldn't consider it emo, but it's still, you could wrap it up easily into that category.
Into that category.
So for me, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's all good music. And
yeah,
you know.
I just think it's interesting and more, it's just more of a personal thing for me is that it's like, you know, I like being able to distinguish it. And when you get to that point, it's kind of cool to be like, oh, now I can hear the difference. Now I can see, you know, kind of where the boundaries are, what makes this more distinctly this genre than the other.
Yeah.
So,
well, because I'm sure you've heard of like
questions.
Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
Like they play it all like they just played it when we were young, which is like a lot of people like, oh, that's like the old emo music festival. There's no fucking way in hell you can classify Blink 182 as emo.
I figured they were like pop punk. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're pop punk, Fall Out Boy pop punk, you know, but they still like people who don't really like think about it or didn't grow up listening to this, they'll still be like, oh yeah, Blink 182 is like an emo band. And it's like, but it's just, it's not. Yeah. So anyways, folks, we can babble on this channel, but that's what we love to do. We love to, you know, just break down our thoughts and have a good time doing it. And if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe so you guys can follow us along our journey of discovering new music, old music, and everything in between.
That's right, folks. Thanks for joining us on this one. And let us know in the comments. Once again, what should I react to next? What other bands or songs do you want me to react to from Panic at the Disco that you think that I would enjoy or maybe not enjoy? Who, you know what I mean? I'm down for the journey, wherever it takes us.
That's right. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Peace.